Hello, everyone, and welcome to Revitalize MD, All Things Aesthetics and Wellness podcast with me, your host, Dr. Deborah Durst. So let's treat crepey skin and more with the filler that keeps on giving. And I have my co-host with me, Faraday. Would you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, for everyone who hasn't met me yet. My name is Faraday Golombieski. I am a nurse practitioner at Revitalize MD, and today we are talking about how to fix crepey skin and filler, and specifically Radiesse and Hyperdilute Radiesse.
And this is one of our favorite fillers because we can just do so much with it. We love lots of fillers, but this one is it's special. It keeps on giving once you use it. Yeah. And then we can use it in so many different areas. So again, this is what we call a biostimulatory filler called Radiesse. And there's a couple biostimulatory fillers. Sculptra is another one. And then we have Radiesse. And Radiesse can be a Radiesse Classic, which does not have lidocaine. And these are and we only go into those details of the science very quickly because then you have a foundational knowledge before we go into how this actually really benefits you. And then, or you can do Radiesse Plus, which has some lidocaine in it. Those are the two different products. So we can take it out of the box and we can use it directly into a cheek for volume enhancement in a cheek because we lose volume in the cheek and mid-face as we age.
Our skin starts to hang a little bit, and a little volume in a cheek is a nice way to pull that up and make it a little bit tighter and help with some of that jowling and give that definition back and give a more youthful look. And it's beautiful.
And so as we're even, and I'll point out, and I hate to, again, point out I'll do weird movements on, videos on the website just to point out areas that are treated and never very flattering. And you won't be able to see this on a podcast, but maybe Faraday can describe it too as we go along. But if we actually have some nasolabial fold areas or jowling, but we've lost some volume in the cheek, if we lift up a little bit on the cheek, then it actually improves those areas of the nasolabial fold in the jowling. And so using a volume replacement or filler, and there's so many different fillers that we can use in that area. And again, choosing the right ones for you specifically is so important. And there's so many questions and people worry about names. And again, we know all the fillers, and once we see you, we know exactly which one you would need. And this is one that we can use for volume replacement in the cheek and along the cheekbone. But then we can also add this, do different things with it, and use it in other areas. So what's one of your favorite areas to use for Radiesse?
I would say one of my favorites that I just love, that I think have as amazing results, is in the hands. We are very hyper-focused on what ages us, the areas that age us, and typically we go right to the face, right? The face and the neck, and Radiesse can do wonderful things to both. But a lot of times the hands get ignored, but our hands can really age us. And we can have some crepey skin. We can definitely see where you have more tendons showing. You can have discoloration and pigmentation changes. But we can take Radiesse. We can hyperdilute it. We can use a cannula, and we can just feather it in there and smooth it all out and make our hands look a lot more youthful. And that way, when we're talking and our face is beautiful and we've worked on the crepey skin on our neck and done all of that, we can do it with our hands too, so you can't see that aging. And it really is a subtle difference and looks
beautiful. And again, our hands are exposed to absolutely everything. We put sunscreen on our face, we do treatments on our face, and again, if we're starting at an older age, so if we're starting at 50, there's about 1% of collagen a year. So you're about 50% down by the time you start to treat saggy skin or wrinkles or fine lines, or, I like to call them like scratches and dents. Once we start to treat them, if we're older, then we got some catch up to do, where even the younger patients, they start earlier now. They're more educated on social media, on YouTube, and they know, and they start earlier, but still even they tend to only want to treat their face. So let's treat the neck, let's treat the chest. Those are the things that age along with the face, and let's keep our face, neck, and chest and hands looking all the same. Because if you hold up but if you're in your 40s, 50s, and beyond, if we look at our hands, definitely it's showing some age, some volume loss, saggy skin, and we've lost some collagen. So The thing that's wonderful about Radiesse is, again, it's going to replace volume. It's got calcium hydroxyapatite crystals in it, and you're going to have volume replacement. And then it's also going to work its magic when it's there by stimulating collagen elastin. There's tons of studies to show this. And in the hands, we may not dilute it as much as we're going to talk about other areas, but we'll dilute it a little bit for spread and for numbing effects. And it just fills out the hands so beautifully.
It does.
Then over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 months, it smooths and makes the skin shiny because it's now created collagen elastin that you had lost. So an amazing treatment for the hands, for sure.
Absolutely. And I just think it's a place that we don't think about, we don't pay much attention to, and it can make such a big difference when we're looking at things that age us.
Yeah.
Probably the other area would be the neck.
Yes.
So I know I just said face and neck, but the hands I love, but the neck too. So especially we start to see that crepey skin along our chest, along that whole décolletage area, and Radiesse we can hyperdilute, we can fan in, and again, pepper in and help with some of that crepey skin that can form there and smooth it out.
The nice thing about all of these treatments that we're talking about when it comes to hands, the body, which we'll talk about, in the neck and the chest, is it's with the cannula, so it's comfortable. So we'll do an entry point. We numb that entry point with some lidocaine, and that's the only needle that we're using. And then we're going to use a cannula, and we're going to fan out with the cannula and spread those calcium crystals everywhere. We're intentionally diluting it down. And, every office does it a little bit differently. All of them are acceptable, based on their preferences. And you're intentionally spreading the calcium crystals so that you can get stimulation of collagen and elastin in lots of different areas. So you want it spread out, but it's comfortable. It's like painless, really. I mean,
exactly. It's one entry point with a needle.
Yeah.
That's it. One poke of a needle that's been numbed with lidocaine. And then when we do Radiesse, and we use Radiesse Plus Lot because it has the lidocaine in it, and we hyperdilute it down. So it's really just going back and forth between 2 syringes. It kind of thins it out so that it does spread. Because like Dr. Durr said, that's our goal, is to spread it. We want that effect throughout the whole area. And then we use a cannula and just pepper it in there.
We're talking about the hands too. So with the hands, definitely, one entry point on each side, but the neck, because it's a little bigger, the chest too, but we're numbing every entry point and fanning it out. It just depends on what areas we need to get to. But no matter what, that's an entry point that's numbed, and then it's cannula after that. So it's very comfortable, and it's just an awesome treatment that gets better with time and keeps giving. You can actually use this in the same way, diluted down in the arm. You can use it and above the knees, which is a common area for women, right? That above the knees, they start to notice loose, saggy skin. And again, they're exercising, they're eating the same, the same healthy food. And of course, we as an office comprehensively are looking at hormones and hormone optimization. But this is a perfect example, in addition to maybe laser sometimes.
To tighten
skin. There's other ways to do it, but this is a fabulous treatment, again, because it doesn't hurt. And we just, spread those calcium crystals out.
Behind the arms, above the knees. We can use it in the glute.
Yeah, so yes, if you want a bigger and
more full,
but you have like the little, what are those called again? The hip dips.
Oh, yeah.
I knew there was I keep forgetting that name.
Flat ass.
Flat ass, too. Yeah. If you have a flat ass, that's one of them. Or if you have a dimple, so those hip dips are a big thing. And, I've seen a couple, again, replacements. Actually, we saw one with one of the muscle machines where they were fabulous results. But the hip dips were more prominent. And so my big thing was, I want to feel the hip dips. So
looking at people going, I could fix that.
Yes. And these are, again, it's fabulous. You're going to have some volume initially because we're diluting it some. We're using a cannula. We're spreading it out. We're going to let you see it before it leaves. Some of that will dissipate, but it's going to get better with time as well. And you can get repeat sessions. So it's such a natural look too. That's the fabulous thing about biostimulatory fillers and Radiesse, is that it's a natural look. And
Absolutely.
it's working its magic. So not only does it initially fill volume, but it gets better with time.
It's building that collagen and elastin, and it's giving back. That's why it's the filler that keeps on giving.
The filler that keeps on giving. We love that. Anything that keeps on giving is a good thing. Right?
Anything that can induce your body's own natural reaction and production is A-OK in our book.
We're very much of a regenerative mode. If we can give your body back a way to, stimulate its own repair or rebuilding of anything in collagen elastin in this case. And again, most fillers used in aesthetics are hyaluronic acid fillers or HA fillers. Most of them are. And so we use a lot less in the way of biostimulatory fillers, and Sculptra is one of them, and Radiesse is another one. In offices, we'll use things for different purposes. I like Radiesse because we can use it as a volume replacement in the cheeks, and it's robust and it's beautiful. Or we can then take some and dilute it down and put it in the hands, or dilute it more and put it in the neck and in the décolleté. And again, so, and then it keeps giving, it just keeps getting better with time, and it's building collagen elastin. It really is pretty amazing, the results that you can see with crepey skin. And again, people look at the necks in the chest in women as we age, because I'm there with you. We know that hands, neck, and chest are a big area that need to be treated. So don't let those areas go. And again, just know there's so many different options, but this is one fabulous option that's painless and is in the office, looks better immediately, but then is going to get better with time as well.
Absolutely. And it looks natural, and it keeps giving back.
Yeah. The hand treatments, I will say that we at Revitalize MD we do add some pigment lifter. So we do a laser treatment or an IPL photo laser treatment that is going to lift pigment with it, because we all have some age spots in our hands because our hands are exposed to the sun. And again, everyone that's doing any of these treatments, and even prior to or before, should always be doing some supplements that are going to boost collagen, but also skincare, medical grade skincare, and then sunscreen. Use your sunscreen for sure.
Yes.
And so we'll remind you, let you know all of that. But let us know if there's any comments that you have, anything else you want to hear more about. If you've had some experience with Radiesse that you want to share, we would love that. Subscribe, like, hit the bell so you're notified, and share with friends, because we love when you share the videos, and bring them in when you come. So if there's anything else, you let us know, because we're here to revitalize your look, your health, and your sex life.